Hello lovelies, how are you all doing today? I certainly hope you're well. I'm outside, yay! I'm down at the allotments, more of that in a second. I'm actually just sitting on Gary's plot at the minute, just resting myself. It's a warm day already. Hot, let's face it, it's hot. But it's such a cute morning already. I went to one of my charity shops to drop a few more bits and pieces off. I'm really trying to just get rid of as much as I can. Anyway, I was down there and the sweetest kid, maybe 9 or 10, came in with his mum. He was after a tennis racket. So the mum asked and the shop assistant showed them. They had 2 big buckets full of rackets. There must have been 20 odd rackets to choose from. So he was looking pretty giddy, and I said, is this going to be your very first tennis racket? And he said yes. Oh, bless him. So we just got chatting a little bit, and I was asking him about, had he watched Wimbledon? No, but he'd watched the tennis at the Olympics, and he just apparently was utterly enthralled, massively excited by it, and couldn't take his eyes off it, thought it was amazing, wants to do it. So how great. Find a second-hand racket to start with, and they managed to find one with the slightly shorter handle. Great for, like I said, I think he was probably like 9 or 10, maybe 8, little kids, so that shorter handle, brilliant, just while he's learning. And they chucked a couple of tennis balls in for him too. Oh, it's so sweet. I love little encounters like that. I was getting really giddy, excited, and started chatting tennis. And there is a tennis club in my little hood here. It's quite expensive. I did look into it at one time. A couple of my friends, actually a couple of my allotment friends, are members of the tennis club. But never mind, I was telling them about the various free tennis courts there are in the area. So as long as he's got someone to practice with, I mean, on his own he can practice serving to his heart's content. But there are plenty of free courts around here for him to get his tennis obsessed life going with. Oh, sweet. And then just on my way in now, it seems to be there's like a herd. I don't think you call it a herd of Schnauzer dogs, little poppies, miniature Schnauzers, and they all look quite poppyish, just going absolutely bonkers in the park. So I just sat on the bench for 5 minutes and just watched them playing. It was adorable. Anyway, so it's nice to have this little bit of rest. Now, the reason I'm on Gary's plot, he's not around this morning. We've already chatted this morning, but our schedules don't coincide. I want to show you the cold frame in its new home. Should we go and have a nosy? Come on, let's have a look and see how Gary's plot is doing and the cold frame. So one of my jobs I'll be doing it over the next week, is to harvest all of Gary's lavender, and by way of harvesting it, I'll also prune and shape his plants and keep them in a nice tight formation. You can see on this side how they're all, I don't know if you can make it, gosh, it's bright, I've forgotten what it's like to film outside in the bright. This is his path here, grass path, but you can see the plants are right over it. So one of his jobs this autumn, I'll get them pruned and shaped, and then what he's going to do is, with this bed, which has currently got his leeks in, he's actually going to bring this board to here, so it's a long skinny bed, make this the grass path, and then turn this into bed to give the lavender even more space. Rah! Things are looking slightly, in terms of the flowers, other flowers, the gladioli, foxgloves, that sort of thing, they're all past their best. But look at this. Is it morning glory? The colour is redonkulous. Wow. Isn't that Beautiful colour. Oh, stunning. Right, I'm just going to bear in mind where the sun is. So, this down here is one of Gary's old cold frames, just sort of cobbled together. Peppers in there. Oh my goodness, look at this. That's all Coco de Pampol. Oh my goodness, I'm so jealous. Oopla, watch your feet, Vivi. This is another little sort of cold frame, a sort of homemade one. That looks like cucumbers in there. Yeah, it looks like there's that little one forming in there. Yeah, you can see, there we go. Oh, there's, oh, there go my glasses. There's some at the back that are forming. Hold on, let me get my glasses. Oh, now covered in dew. But look at this lot of cocoa. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Tons of flowers, so there's loads more to come. But look. Gorgeous pods. Where are we? It's about the 11th of August, I think. So, in France, in the town of Pampol, their harvest is usually right at the end of August. I think everything had such a late start in the UK. This looks like it might be into September harvest. It's all Coco de Pampol. Wonderful. And then over here he's got his beetroot and interplanted with Cavolo. This is great interplanting because the Cavolo will grow up tall, so they won't be bothered about having these beetroot next to them. But also, obviously, as we head into autumn and winter, the beetroot will get harvested, and the Cavolo will be left to come through, and there'll be a cut and come again veg. So the plants will stay in. He'll just harvest what he needs, what he wants, when he wants it. That looks like peppers. You can see flowers, but can I see? Oh, it's chili peppers. Yeah, I can see one fruit over here. Oh, a few fruits. Yeah, he tends to grow chili peppers rather than sweet peppers. Oh, they're nice fruits, Gary. Oh my goodness, I'd forgotten the joy of hunting. The joy of hunting for the first. Over here, oh, his onions look like they're probably about a week away from harvest. Can you see how all the tops have flopped over, the green tops? That's the first indication that they are pretty much just about ready. Yeah, oh, he's going to have a nice harvest. That's going to be a good harvest. There's some peas, pretty pink flowers. Oopla, look at those flowers. Pretty. And yeah, purple pods. Don't know what variety they are. That was all spuds, looks like they've all come out. Behind it's all gooseberry bushes. I think Gary, like many of us, is starting to think more of like permanent planting, at least in a few beds, just to ease the burden of the work. Carrots, tons and tons of carrots. Tomatoes. Now this is an area where, I mean, everyone's had problems. So here we are, mid-August. Now, previous years, if this is my garden, and I'm not casting any aspersions at Gary. Some of these are barely 2 feet high. These ought to be 6 feet high. If they're in my garden, they'd be 6 feet high. Or no, not this year. Yeah, and nary a ripe fruit to see. There's a handful. Everyone's so good. Oh, look at that morning glory. Beauty. What a beauty. That's audacious, isn't it? Oh, gorgeous. Gorgeous. But what I wanted to show you is, ta-da! Okay, I'm going to just come out of the little mini path. And you see, here's another, for example, here's another of Gary's homemade cold frames, and for example, another one. So I absolutely know he's going to get great use of this, out of this over the years. What's amazing is the perfect fit. So I'm going to come and stand back a bit, hopefully, to demonstrate. It just fit onto his bed there. It's like it was meant to be. I am so, sorry, the ground's really uneven. Gary, sort your paths out. I am so utterly delighted that this is here now, because I know he'll get so much use from it over the years. I feel a bit weepy with happiness. And he's got peppers in there. So as you can see, unlike when it was in my garden, he's got his directly on the soil. Great. The only thing about that, actually we were talking about it the other day together, and he might put a base down, because obviously being on the soil, he can plant straight into the soil. But with it being soil, of course, weeds, but also slugs and snails in the soil coming up. And I think he will use this rather like I used to, in that particularly in the sort of late spring, as we sort of get towards the end of April and May, having seedlings in here hardening off before being planted out. So you wouldn't need the soil for that, because your seedlings would all be in sort of little modules or trays or what have you. Anyway, he's going to have a think on it, but I know he's chuffed with it. I'm chuffed that he's got it. Yay! I kept telling him, for months he said, I haven't got time to do it yet. And I said, look, don't worry, there's no hurry. Just give me a shout when you're doing it and I'll give you a hand. And he kept saying, no, I don't want you to do anything. It's too heavy, you'll fall over. And I kept saying, for goodness sakes, Gary, stop it. I can manage perfectly well. The blighter only went and did it behind my back. I don't mean in a nasty, sneaky way, just like he just wanted to get it done without asking me to help, because he didn't want any effort for me. God love him. So him and his missus did it. Took the glass out, of course. But anyway, that's fantastic. I'm chuffed. But that's not what I came... Well, I did want to see it in situ. It is partly what I came for. But what I actually came for... Oh, lolly lavender. Oh, what a happy sight. What a glorious sight. Now, previously, this is still Gary's. Actually, let's get over to my old plot and I'll talk about this year's harvest a bit. Back in my natural habitat. Whew, it's muddy already. Right, I've got my stool ready, I'm going to get stuck in, but first of all I wanted to show you, because oh my goodness, how weird does that look? How weird it's so odd. It's so odd to see this. It's odd to see the whole plot. That's okay. It's going to be someone else's delight. And, cool, look, that sedum's going for it. There are little pops of colour everywhere, little bits of life happening. Beautiful verbena, self-seeded nasturtium, self-seeded calendula, self-seeded borage, self-seeded evening primrose. Oh, sweet. And a mess, but it's not my mess to worry about. Right, let's get on with this harvest. It's getting really sticky already. Now, in the past, I have harvested the entire lot in one go. Mine and Gary's. All done and dusted. Take about 4 to 5 hours to do the whole lot. then a few hours spent getting them all hung into little bags and tied up in the shed to dry. So it's going to be a little bit different this year. I'm going to do them just a few at a time because I'm not going to use the shed. So these are all going to come home straight away. So I can't carry them. I can't carry it all home in one go. That's one thing. But also space for drying. I don't have space to get them all dry in one go at home. So I think with my lot, I think I'll do 2 cuts. I'll do it in 2 days or over 2 sessions. And then Gary's, I will do probably maybe over about 5 sessions, I think. Alternate days. It will take me through to towards the end of August. So in terms of timing of this, I know the lighting's a bit tricky today, so we're a bit backlit. Yeah, in terms of timing, I'm here, where are we? Like I said, I think it's about the 10th. So pretty. It's about the 10th of August. I could do this any time from about mid-July. I prefer to leave it a bit later. Oh, look, naughty bindweed that's gotten away because I'm not here to tackle it. Right, focus, Vivi. Yes, if you were a perfumerer, if you're a perfumerer, you'd probably do your harvest about the middle of July, when the buds on the flowers are sort of quite tight, before the flowers have properly opened, because that's when those aromatic oils are at their most concentrated. So, for instance, when I was in the south of France, staying in Nice, we hopped on a bus one day and went up to Grasse en Provence, which is, it's the home of perfume, isn't it? And we went to, which maker did we go to? I think we went to Fragonard to go and have a look at their processes and see the beautiful old copper vats. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Anyway, the reason I'm mentioning that is because field after field after field of lavender. So we took the train home on the 6th of July and all the fields of lavender, the lavender was still there waiting to be harvested. So they would have probably done it, like I said, around the middle of July. But they're perfumerers. So for your dried lavender, you could do it in the middle of July too, of course. I like to do it a few weeks later. It's not going to have a huge impact on the scent. It's still going to have a lovely strong scent. Anyone who's bought my lavender bags in the past will attest to that. It's not going to be, oh, it's so pretty. I need to get the lighting right today. Yeah, it's just not going to be quite as strong as the perfume makers like it. The reason I leave it till then, when the flowers are, let's see, yeah, what's that? Oh, it's pigeons and the flowers completely open. It's just to give the bees and the butterflies a go on it first. Let's share. It's all about sharing and caring, isn't it? So yeah, you can do your harvest anytime from the middle of July right through to the end of August. When I'm cutting, you can try in terms of oh, that naughty bit of bindweed. In terms of the pruning, you can try and get it all done in one fell swoop. Do your cut of your harvest where you want to do your pruning cut. I just grab it by the handful. I'll give you a closer shot in a second. Grab it by the handful, chop, chop, chop. I'm careful though when I'm cutting that I don't go back into any of the brown wood. I'm careful to always leave the sort of the telltale little silvery leaves, the fresh leaves. If I go back into the brown, the chances are it's not going to sprout again next year into that sort of dead wood. I mean, it's obviously it's not dead because the plant is still alive and growing, but it won't sprout from there. Probably won't sprout from there. Now I'm going to be careful when I get this home, because where it's flopped onto the grass, it is a bit damp from dew. So in terms of, never mind the date in the calendar of harvesting, in terms of time of day, I like to do it late morning, as it is now. It's about, I'm not sure, I think it's probably about half 11, 12, maybe 12, around there. So late morning, the sun's had a chance to come out, burn off the dew, the flowers open up, yay, I'm going to harvest. It's exactly as I would for my calendula harvest as well. Let the flowers get fully open, let that dew be burnt off by the sun, so harvesting our product dry. But as I just said, there is a little bit of dew on the grass still. I think we might have actually had some rain, I'm not sure, I didn't hear it. So yeah, I just spread them out a bit more at home. In terms of drying, because I'm not going to be using the shed, I've still got paper bags, so they will just go upside down, as in they will go bloom first into the bottom of the bag, not jam-packed into the bag, not rammed in, so nice bit of space around them, the air can get in, like that, in a really warm, probably the front window, warm spot. They will dry in no time. Paper bags and like that, because then as I take them out to actually process the harvest to get all the flowers off, as they dry, some of them will drop, so they'll drop into the bottom of that paper bag. I won't lose any. I never dry them just out like in a bunch, hanging in a bunch with nothing underneath, because they will drop and I'll lose some, and every single bud is precious. You know what, it's kind of getting a bit cloudy and the wind just picked up, and I'm thinking, is it going to rain? I checked the forecast and it's actually supposed to be sunny right now. Oh, I'm getting grass and everything with this. Actually, how much can I do? I might have to... I might only get one plant harvested. I'm going to bring you in a bit closer so you can see what I'm doing. But, I mean, that's half a plant already. Yeah, it's... Okay, coming closer so you can... see what I'm up to. I just wanted to give you this shot first. So you can see just how big the plants are. Each of these stems, so if we think from the flower, the green stalk, back to the sort of the bush, they've got to be, for the most part, about 1.5 foot long, each of them. Sort of about, 60... 70 centimetres in some cases. There's just 1, 2, how many have I got? Is it 4? Forgotten, I'm so out of touch with my own garden. It's not my own garden anymore. Or maybe 5. 5 little plants went in here, I think 5 years ago. Was it I think it was 2019. They weren't massive plants. I got a tray of them. There must have been 6 plants. Did I lose one? But yeah, it was a little, one of these, a tray with 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, little hand, garden centre type thing. And they weren't expensive. I think it was like about a tenner for all of them. I'm really struggling to remember because it was a few years ago. But anyway, the point is, they've grown into whoppers. They've done really, really well. In terms of planting, in their planting hole, this entire bed was not manured, composted, anything. I wanted the soil to be poor, specifically for all my sort of Mediterranean herbs, Mediterranean plants. So there were no additions to the soil, and in each planting pot I put a ton of grit in the bottom, so the roots of each plant were sitting on just on grit, so it's really free draining because they can't bear soggy roots. And of course this heavy clay soil here is really not what they want. Look, as the sun comes out, the bees and butterflies are coming out. So it just shows, doesn't it, with a bit of time, a bit of patience, a bit of love and care, you can really start to get some fantastic harvests for, like I said, just a few quid, the plants initially. I get the beauty and the enjoyment of the flowers, as do the bees and butterflies, and then it's a crop that is, it's a, trying to think of the word for it, it's a it's, what am I trying to say? It's worthwhile economically. It's an economically viable crop for me. Yes, this stage now, it's a bit intensive. It's all done by hand, so it takes time. But what a great crop, year after year after year, for really a very minimal setup cost. So yeah, in my next garden, I'll definitely be planting some lavender. Anyway, let's come in and have maybe if I put you this side. You see, now that the sun's come out, I can't see a thing. Hang on. I'm hoping you'll be steady and safe there. So that's where I've just taken from. I could go in again afterwards and just, tidy. I might not do too much tidying on these plants, but when it comes to Gary's, yes, I will definitely get them really tidy. So then for harvesting, I just grab a handful, and can you see where the pale, like I was saying, this sort of the pale silvery leaves are here? This is where we're going to get new sprouts from. That's what I don't want to cut beyond. Just like that. And yeah, I'm definitely going to have to do this in a few visits rather than the 2 that I anticipated. Partly in terms of getting it home, partly in terms of space at home to dry it. But at this time of year, summer, it's a lovely thing for me to do each day. I come and have a visit each day for about, 10, 14 days. Gets me out in the sunshine a little bit, a bit of vitamin D. Whew. And the possibility of seeing folk down here. There's no one down here at the minute. Gosh, it's warming up. Oh, goodness me. Is there anything finer on a summer's day? I think to myself, you know what? This is my job. This is my work. This is what I do to pay bills. You know what? It don't pay much, but goodness me, what a beautiful job it is. Days like today, it's like, yeah. Blessed to have a garden. I don't really have a garden at the moment, but I will do. Those of you, I'd forgotten about the aeroplanes. How could I have forgotten about the aeroplanes already? One of my plot buddies has just arrived. She comes in from the back there and walks down this, what used to be my side path. I just had my head down snipping away, and as she walked past I said, "Morning," And she replied, morning, and then went, oh, oh. She's like, that kind of, she's so used to saying morning to me as she comes past. And then she sort of did a double take and stopped in her tracks and said, oh, you're back. Yeah, just for the harvest. Oh, now I'm really starting to think, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 5 plants, but I really think that 1 plant is enough for now. Let me show you. Oh. Yeah, that is. I think that's enough. I think sorry, excuse me, I'm thinking out loud. What I will do today, it's so warm, I'm gonna leave it there at 1 plant, this lot, get it home, spread it out and see how much room that takes up. And also just in terms of getting it in my granny trolley to get it home, it'd be lovely to swish down my high street with my gathering basket full, wouldn't it? But not very practical. Yeah, I'll see just how manageable that is, because then once I've done this lot, if I think I can manage 2 lots, then tomorrow I can harvest 2 plants. But for now, let's get this lot bagged up and home. Just seen another neighbour. I'm going to go and have a chat. Yay! So that's the other thing, is if I have to do this every day for about the next 14, 21 days or so, it's just an excuse to come and see friends. Oh, yeah. I'm very happy with that as a start. So, just get it packed to take it home. Get it spread at home to dry, or at least, hung in these paper bags. Gosh, it never looks so much in the basket, but the minute you start to sort of pack it and put it away, the paper bags that I normally use, I've packed. I don't know where I put them. Oh, so I think you can sort of see from the amount of stalks, that will be plenty in 1 bag for drying. I was going to say I could pack more in for transporting home, but there's no point, because then I'll just damage them getting them out again at home before they're dry. I also have what's almost like a bin sack, like a potato sack with me today. I thought I'll take it just in case. Yeah, gonna need it. Oh, right. The obligatory shed shot. We have to have a moment by the shed, don't we, in a garden video? Whew-wee. I've just seen another plot friend neighbour. It's nice having a catch up. Actually, it did make me... Oh! It did make me think, though, that... Get in! Hang on a tick. All different lengths. If I come each day, like I said, for the next fortnight or so, I'm going to have to say to myself, okay, yeah, it might only be half an hour to do the cutting. So let's say, with the walk down here, snip, 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 walk home, a total of an hour. I'm going to make sure I give myself 2 hours. And that way, if I bump into friends, I won't be in a hurry to sort of say, oh, it's really nice to see you, but I can't stop and chat. give myself that time to chat. Because the great thing is with my work schedule, and that's what I'm saying, you know, I'm blessed with this job, is that I can sew at midnight, I can sew at 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning. I've got soundproofing on my floor, so there's no worry about the neighbour hearing the sewing machine. Yeah, so if I want to go a bit slower in the day and chat to people and enjoy the sunshine, I jolly well will. As long as I can get about 10 good hours of work in each day, that's fine. Right, I'm going to stop packing the granny trolley, and I think therefore it's time for me to say cheerio to you lot. I hope you enjoyed being in the garden with me again today. Gosh, I've missed it. I know a lot of you have really missed it too, and I sincerely hope it won't be too long before I'm growing again. But even when I am growing again, it'll take a while for plants to get established. That's the thing with the lavender. I didn't harvest in the first year. Well, at the end of the season, I trimmed and clipped and shaped, but not too much, just left it alone to get established. Right, I'm waffling. I need to go. Look after yourselves, everyone. Enjoy your sunny moments. Enjoy harvesting your flowers as well. Whatever you're harvesting at the moment. I'll see you again really soon. Probably not in the garden though next time. For now though, cheerio.